What's up, everyone? I'm Brandon Tates. Welcome to my channel. It's so great to be with you. It's a little bit chilly on this Friday afternoon, March 22nd of 2019, and we're just about ready to kick off the 2019 lawn care season. Just so excited to be outside in nice weather here coming up, and just get going. So just wanted to kind of share with you what I'm thinking for this year, and what I'm doing out in the lawn today. So I'm just kind of out, I'm assessing some of the things, some of the issues that I'm seeing from this previous year. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a background story of our lawn journey in this last year. So this house was built, we bought it 2 Octobers ago, and there was no lawn, brand new build. There was not like a lawn package included in the deal. So this past summer we ended up hiring, it was actually earlier in the year, but they didn't get to it until I believe it was June. Maybe I'll put the date here in the corner of when they came in and put some photos up for you. But they came in, they hydroseeded the lawn, and from my research, I'm a big research guy, so if I'm considering doing something, I'll spend a lot of time studying it, learning about it, how to do it, how to try to take care of it. And some of the photos and videos that I saw of other companies that specialize in hydroseeding, my lawn did not look like that. There wasn't as much of the mulchy, papery fiber on top. That was kind of like, yeah, like a mulch to keep the seed moist longer, and yeah, just be a barrier for the seed to germinate faster. And I just kind of waited. There was another house down the street that had theirs hydroseeded by a different company, and it looked exactly like what I had seen from other videos and some of the research that I had done. And so it's just kind of a waiting game. Let's wait and see what happens. So what ended up happening is not much of the seed germinated. It was probably only about 15%, maybe 30% of the lawn actually did come up, but then there was all these weeds, which I later identified as barnyard grass. It kind of looks like crabgrass, but has a little bit of a more purpley stalk to it. And I was told that it's supposed to be one of the easiest weeds to take care of if you put down a pre-emergent, which in the hydroseeding mixture, it was said to have a pre-emergent in it. But like I said, so what come to find out, after I emailed the company, the owner said I was expecting to receive this email. So what happened was they ended up trying this new product in their agitators, and ours and 3 other lawns it ended up failing. So I was a little upset that they didn't let me know that was the case. One, that they didn't give me a heads up to know that they were trying a different product, and to ask if it was okay to try it out on our lawn, so we could at least expect it might not be a success the first time. And if they were noticing that it was failing in other lawns, why they didn't give me a heads up, especially after the investment that we made into their service. So I was a little bit bummed, but they said they'd come back and they make it right. So they came back a couple months later, and had to redo everything, other than they didn't get back to the edges of the lawn, just because it was too close. So right here, the edges of the house around the landscape beds that we did, the rock beds. And so there is a little bit of unleveled ground around the house. So after they came back and they redid the hydroseeding, it was a better success this time. But one thing that they told me this second time, and the owner was almost trying to put the blame on me for the failure, he said that I was supposed to put down starter for every couple of weeks. I believe it was every 3 weeks I was supposed to put down starter fertilizer, and that was something that he didn't tell me the first time, and actually when I was doing research on hydroseeded lawns, that was something that I noticed that a lot of these companies on YouTube did not say, which I'm kicking myself a little bit that I didn't video record or document that process, because I think it really would have been helpful for myself and anybody in the future who's considering getting their lawn hydroseeded. I know a lot of companies that specialize in hydroseeding also have their own lawn care program that they encourage customers to include into their package. That way they could take care of their yard that first season and put down the weed preventer and whatnot, and come back and spray weeds, and just so that way that first year you don't really touch it other than you mow it and make it look nice, and they take care of the rest. But for those who are like me, who prefer to do things myself and save a little bit of money, that was a little bit of a disappointment. There wasn't much on the on YouTube in the video community like there is for the do-it-yourself lawn care community. There's so many resources online, and this is how I've really learned a lot of what I know, is just from watching some videos, learning from other guys' successes and failures, and these guys are a lot smarter than I am, but I've gotten to learn a lot, and it's just fun for me. I really enjoy just being out in the lawn, getting my hands a little dirty, and then you have this instant gratification of even if your lawn doesn't look the best, but it's overgrown, you give it a mow and it looks great. So yeah, and I just like being close to home, close to my family. My wife is a stay-at-home mother, and so I feel bad if I end up bailing on her to go do something fun with other guys, and leave her once again at home by herself. So I feel like this is a way for me to have an outlet, be outside, put on a podcast or listen to some music, and just still be close to home, be accessible to my family. A lot of these days we'll end up grilling and just to enjoy some family time in the evening. But yeah, so that's part of my heart with being a little geeky in the lawn, is I really enjoy the instant gratification that you can get, or pretty quick results with just a few basic steps. All right, so overall with the hydroseeding that we had to get redone the second time, I am way more pleased with the results. They did come in, they made it right. We still did have a couple little issues. They ran over a sprinkler, and it still is not fixed, even though they came back. They said pretty much it's doing what it's supposed to do, and it's leaking a bunch. And so if you can see, let's see, it's pretty much dead around there, because that fills up with water, and the water all sits and it won't drain, and it's not the lowest sprinkler head on this on that zone. So pretty much they're saying it's just draining, and that's what it's supposed to do, and it will eventually fill in. But it did not at all, even though the rest of the lawn is actually fairly thick. I didn't get to overseed in the fall like I had hoped. Generally the process is to aerate and overseed, and aeration is when you pull little plugs out of your soil to it adds more air in your soil. It also helps out with any compaction. So a lot of this, my yard is clay soil, but we had I'll have to remember, it was like 20 yards. I could be completely wrong with that, but it was a lot of yards of topsoil that they had mixed in, because originally they thought this whole back area, so from here till about there, they thought that was also our lawn, and so they brought in enough dirt to cover all of that, to be able to till in the topsoil in there as well. But once they found out it was not, they just still put all the topsoil on our lawn, and so it's probably the whole top couple of inches is topsoil, and then underneath that is clay. So this year I plan on, sorry, I'm going to move to the porch. This year I do plan on just assessing my my soil. So I'm planning on getting a soil test to just see where we're at, see what changes I need to make, see if how the pH level is, because that's either going to determine whether or not vegetation can grow and roots can grow deeper, and see what where my micronutrients are, so that way that's accessible to the grass as well. So with that, yeah, I'll just keep you posted on when I get that test. I'm sure I'll make a video for that, so you can just see that process. I'll let you know how long it takes to get it, and you'll see the results of where my lawn is at for this season, and that's going to help determine a little bit more of some other plans of actions that I need to take for this coming year. All right, so I came inside the house. It was getting a little bit chilly out there while I'm recording this, so my hand was getting a little cold. But yeah, so I know this video is a little bit informational, just kind of giving you some context of where I'm coming from when I'm talking about our lawn. Like I said, the lawn's only, it's not even a year old yet. And actually, let me look, I have something I would recommend for you guys to get is to get a lawn journal. So Getty had a bunch of these. If you don't know me, I'm the worship leader for the North Campus, and also for young adults for Getty Church here in Holland, Michigan. And so this has been a great little journal that they have, that I'm using this one as my lawn journal. So what's great about these is that you can document when you're just when you do certain things. You could even put when you mow, when you lay down certain fertilizers or weed preventers and whatnot, just to help you keep track of when you did it and what the success of it was. So actually, when I put this together, I was just trying to create a little bit of a plan for how often I was going to water it, how often I was going to put fertilizer down. I had also kind of just jotted some notes of what fertilizer that was available to me, starter fertilizer, that I wanted to use, how much nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium, I believe, is the NPK, sorry, the K is the potassium, but how much I wanted that on the lawn. Yeah, so this just gives me an idea. I can look back this year, see what I had done, the success of any of that, and then I also jotted down a few things that I'd like to do this year. All right, so as I am working on editing this video, I'm realizing that it's getting to be a little bit long. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is split this up into two parts, where part one is just kind of the initial introduction of my lawn, our hydroseeding journey, I guess the installation journey of last year's season. And then part two will give you kind of a tour around more of the lawn, talk about some of the areas that I want to touch up and some of my plans for this next year. But as for now, I just thank you for sticking with me, for watching this first video, and I'm looking forward to adding more, showing you more content in the future. And but for now, please like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you click on the little bell so you get notifications on when I post the next one, which hopefully will be soon, depending on if it stays windy and how soon I get that edited down. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.